spent some time late last night watching the Conservatives deciding who amongst the 10 contenders will replace the UK Prime Minister Theresa May. It's been a very busy week on the UK's political terrain. Well, of course, the votes were down to about the last 2 or 4 folks who will be there. Boris Johnson leading with more than 100 votes there. Then woke up this morning to some news that there could be some backdoor whatever happening there to try and push Boris Johnson out of this #1 position. So this is as political as it can get. Juliana Olayinka, a member of our team from our London studios, is there for us this morning. Juliana, this all political horse trading, Boris Johnson on the front lead, then some folks who are behind trying to upstage him and all of that. This is big time politics. There in the UK, I'm just looking at how you guys have been coping since Monday with all this political jostling.
Good morning, Bosun. Well, we're definitely coping, and Boris Johnson clearly humiliated even his closest rivals yesterday, picking up a third of the vote. The business world will be, of course, interested in who will be the next leader of the United Kingdom. And of course, not just Boris Johnson, but all of the last 7 contenders are looking to go at a Brexit deal, with a deal or not a deal. So we could be coming crashing out of the EU. Let's look at the figures, though, this morning. The FTSE 100 is trading 15 points down today, with very little change on the FTSE 250, which is also trading down by 4 points. Packaging companies Smurfit Kappa Group and DS Smith were 2 of the biggest fallers among the FTSE group, falling 2% respectively. And at the happier end were the utility stocks, National Grid, United Utilities and Centrica, all up today by between 0.4% and 0.9%. After the huge surge yesterday, oil prices have risen for the second day today following the attacks on 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. This has raised fears of reduced crude flows through one of the world's key shipping routes. Now, yesterday, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said in Washington that Iran had threatened earlier to restrain oil transport in the Strait of Hormuz, which has raised major concern amongst investors. Let's have a quick look at currencies. The pound is unchanged against the dollar today. A pound will get you $1.26.
Very interesting. So what we'll be looking at next week? I'm sure the whole Conservatives leadership, whatever, maybe everyone will take a bit of a breather this weekend. Then everybody will be back into this political jostling, angling to take over at #10 Downing Street from Monday.
Unfortunately, no rest for the wicked, Bosun. And I think next week we'll be going on to your favourite topic, Brexit, as we're moving closer to finding out who will be the next British Prime Minister. A new report has revealed that many UK businesses are still not even close to being ready for a no-deal Brexit, which is becoming even more of a reality, considering that the last 7 Tory contenders haven't ruled out crashing out of the union. Now, in February, the HMRC launched the Transitional Simplified Procedures Scheme, which is aimed at easing imports in the event of the UK leaving the customs union and single market abruptly. Now, less than 10% of the firms estimated to require this status have applied for it, and that was as of the 26th of May. Many of these businesses aren't even aware that this scheme exists. Now, this new TSP legislation would allow UK firms to import goods from mainland Europe without filling out new customs declarations at the border. And in turn, the UK businesses would be allowed to postpone any payment. The problem is, Bosun, nobody's heard of it. We seem to be heading towards an October 31st withdrawal. And if there will be no deal, small businesses could suffer. So that's probably one of the key stories we'll be updating you on next week from London.
All right, let's have a handshake. Thank you so much, Juliana Olayinka. Let's think about it. But you got an afternoon belt to do, bringing us up to speed before the market closes. In today, 1:30 local time. Thank you so much, Juliana Olayinka, out of our London studios.